Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my top 5 tips for beginners just starting out with Unity. Whether you are brand new to game development or have some experience, these tips will help you get up and running with Unity faster. Let's get started! The Unity interface might seem overwhelming at first, but fear not. Understanding its various components is crucial for your journey as a Unity developer. So, let's take a closer look. Here, we have the Unity editor. It's your control center for creating amazing games. At the top, you'll find the menu bar with options to create, modify, and build your projects. Over here is the toolbar, providing quick access to commonly used tools such as selection, move, rotate, and scale. Moving on to the scene view, this is where you design your game world. You can navigate the scene by clicking and dragging, or use shortcuts like WASD or middle mouse button. Next, we have the hierarchy, which shows a list of all the objects in your scene. Think of it as your game's organizational chart. Now, take a look at the inspector. This panel displays detailed information about the currently selected object, allowing you to tweak its properties and components. At the bottom, you'll find the project window where all your assets are organized. It includes folders, scripts, textures, models, and more. Lastly, we have the console window. It's your go-to place for debugging, logging messages, and identifying errors or warnings. That wraps up our brief tour of the Unity interface. By familiarizing yourself with these key elements, you'll navigate Unity with ease and efficiency. So, remember, take some time to explore the interface, experiment with the different panels, and don't be afraid to get hands-on. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become. Game objects and components are the building blocks of your Unity projects. Let's explore how they work together to create interactive experiences. Here, we have a game object in the scene view. It can represent anything in your game, like a character, a platform, or a collectible item. When you select a game object, its properties and components are displayed in the inspector. Components are what give game objects their functionalities. The transform component defines the position, rotation, and scale of the game object in the scene. It determines its location, orientation, and size. Beyond the transform component, you can attach various other components to customize the behavior and interactions of your game object. For example, you can add a rigid body component to make the object affected by physics. This allows it to move, fall, and respond to forces. Colliders define the shape and boundaries of the objects for collision detection. They ensure objects interact realistically when they collide or overlap. There's a link here for you if you want to know more about the colliders and collision. Scripts are an essential component for implementing custom behavior and logic. They allow you to write code that controls the game object's actions. With the scripts, you can make objects jump, shoot projectiles, collect items, or perform any action you can imagine. They give life to your game objects. Understanding game objects and their components is crucial for creating dynamic and interactive experiences. Take time to experiment and learn about different components available in Unity. Don't be afraid to try things out and see how different components work together. It's through experimentation that you'll truly grasp the power of game objects and components. That wraps up tip number 2, understanding game objects and components. Prefabs are powerful tools in Unity that allow you to create reusable game objects. They enable you to streamline your development process and save time. To create a prefab, simply select a game object in the scene or hierarchy and drag it into the project window. Unity will generate a prefab asset. Once you have a prefab asset, you can easily reuse it throughout your project. Any changes made to the prefab will automatically update all instances. By duplicating the prefab, you can create multiple instances that share the same properties and behaviors. This ensures consistency and reduces redundancy. If you need to make changes to a prefab, simply select it in the project window, make the desired modifications, and watch as all instances update accordingly. However, keep in mind that modifying an instance won't affect other instances or the original prefab. This allows for flexibility and individual customization. Using prefabs not only saves time but also promotes efficiency and consistency in your game development workflow. They are especially handy when you have multiple similar objects, like enemies or collectibles. So remember, whenever you find yourself creating similar objects or needing to reuse game elements, think prefabs. They'll be your time-saving allies throughout your Unity project. That wraps up tip number 3, using prefabs for reusability. Now it's time for tip number 4, organizing with tags, layers, and sorting layers. In Unity, organizing your game object is essential for maintaining a well-structured and efficient project. We can achieve this using tags, layers, and sorting layers. Let's begin with tags. Tags are labels you can assign to game objects to classify and identify them based on specific characteristics or roles. You can create custom tags to match your game's requirements. For example, you can have tags like player, collectible, enemy, and more. By assigning a tag to a game object, you can easily interact with it in scripts and use it for gameplay mechanics. Next, let's talk about layers. Layers are used to categorize game objects for easier management, collision detection, and rendering. You can customize your layers to group game objects based on their functionality or visual representation. By assigning a layer to a game object, you can control how it interacts with other objects through Unity's physics system and raycasting. In 2D projects, we also have sorting layers. These allow you to determine the order in which sprites are rendered, creating the illusion of depth. By placing sprites on different sorting layers, you can control which objects appear in front of or behind others. Using tags, layers, and sorting layers not only keeps your project organized, but also improves performance and helps you create a polished and visually appealing game. So, remember, take advantage of tags, layers, and sorting layers to keep your Unity project tidy and well structured. Plan ahead, create custom tags and layers, and assign them accordingly to game objects. That wraps up tip number 4, organize with tags, layers, and sorting layers. In Unity, controlling the visibility of variables and methods within script is essential for proper encapsulation and data management. Let's explore how we can achieve this. Inside a script, you'll find variables and methods. By default, they have a visibility keyword called private. Private variables and methods are accessible only within the same script. Here, we have a private variable. It cannot be accessed or modified from other scripts or within Unity's inspector. It's internal to this script. To make a variable or method accessible from other scripts or the inspector, we can change the visibility keyword to public. Now, this variable can be accessed and modified from other scripts or even directly in the inspector. Controlling visibility is crucial for managing data flow and preventing unwanted access to variables or methods. It helps maintain code integrity and organization. Encapsulation is a key principle of object-oriented programming. By keeping variables private and exposing them through public properties or methods, we can control access and ensure data integrity. Using public and private visibility allows for encapsulation, modularity, and code reusability. It helps you create clean and maintainable scripts. Remember, when writing scripts, carefully consider the visibility of your variables and methods. Use private for internal data and public when you need to access or modify them externally. That wraps up tip number 5. Control visibility with public private.
And that's it for our top 5 tips for beginners in Unity. We hope you love these awesome tips and that they have sparked your creativity. But guess what? There's more coming your way. In our next episode, I've got 5 additional tips lined up that level up your Unity skills even more. So stick around. Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and let's give yourselves a big round of applause for all the learning you've done. Learning is a never-ending adventure, and I'm super stoked to be part of your progress. I appreciate your dedication and passion for mastering game development. Together, let's create amazing worlds, epic gameplay, and unforgettable experiences. Until next time, keep learning, keep creating, and keep rocking the Unity magic. See you later. Bye.